move that we approve the minutes from January 17th, 2018.
On the motion, do we have a second?
A second.
Charles?
Aye.
Norval?
Aye.
Terry?
Aye.
Juanita?
Aye.
Next action is discussion and action on the January 2017 financial report.
$627,525.36 cash in the bank. Still to be paid 1,000 promotional video. $29,690 to Back to You Marketing. 10,000 ARC Shade Structure. 6,000 Alva Chamber, Northwest Oklahoma Visitor Center. 2,150 OML Community Leadership Development. 15,000 permanent enhancements to the Alva Fire Department Training Facility. 26,300 to the Big Cruise and Car Show. $1,995 to the Alva Regional Jackpot. $10,000 to the Bull Battle 3, with 500 future and 2,500 standing, leaves $522,390.36 available.
Back on the hotel reports, their revenue, they should have had their numbers in. Hotel 5, we don't have anything. Do you know anything on that?
I can follow up. It may be based on when they turned it in, but I can follow up on hotel number 5.
Actually looks like 3, 4, and 5 probably. Or maybe 3 and 5, I guess it's 3 and 5.
I can give you a report at the next meeting.
It's what the holiday fell as well, because the 31st was on a Sunday, and then the 1st was a holiday, which was a Monday, so this were one of those in time that they could probably got into the bank until Tuesday the 2nd.
I move to approve the financial report.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second to approve the financial report.
Juanita?
Aye.
Norval?
Aye.
Charles?
Aye.
Terry?
Aye.
Next item is discussion action on the 2018 Nescatunga Arts Festival, not to exceed $14,250.
I think you have in front of you our estimated revenue, expenses, and expense items. We are sending out 180 brochures. Last year we had 28 exhibitors.
So, was that up or down, or?
That was down a little. Pretty small.
Any idea why it was down?
It's actually up.
Sales were up.
Sales were up. Okay, she's
Sorry.
pointing up. Sales were up,
We may have
but
been down on vendors, but your sales
but the
were
sales were up. Yeah, okay. We had some that really sold a lot individually.
Probably would have done better.
Yeah, it started raining at about 12 noon or 12:30, if you remember.
Right. I do remember
We had to
that.
fold up early a little bit.
Is it still colliding with or was it the one in Clinton or somewhere that had theirs on the same weekend or not?
I don't know, Charles, I don't know.
Wasn't it that-
I think it was
wasn't
Clinton used to have it the same time, yeah, the first Saturday in June. I don't know if that's still true or not.
Well, I knew that was an issue. All of a sudden, they were moved theirs to the same date or something.
Mm-hmm. And they were indoors too. Theirs is not an outdoor festival. I don't know, that'd be something we could check on. I don't know if that's still true or not.
And you think that affects your attendance any, or your exhibitors, the number of exhibitors possibly?
It might, yeah. I would think it might. Mhm.
Is the date set or final on the date? Like if Lynn-
Well, it's just always been that way.
Okay.
This is our 49th festival. We're the longest continuously running festival in Oklahoma. We're not the oldest, but we're the longest continuously running. Started in 1969. So next year will be our 50th.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's always been the first Saturday in June. It was just evidently set that way to begin with, so we've always left it that way. I've had people say, well, change it to a different weekend, and if you go a week earlier, you get Memorial Day weekend. If you go a week later, you really are cutting wheat normally. Normally we're not cutting wheat. The average day here to start cutting wheat in Woods County is June the 10th. Isn't that interesting? So I don't know that moving it up or back would make it any better.
So your special entertainment, what is that, you think? Maybe?
Special.
Do you have special entertainment listed?
Okay, well, we've got reserved, I guess you could say, the little train from Mr. Springer. Yeah. What we do is pay for that ourselves, and then we don't charge anybody to ride it. Then we've also got reserved, as of right now, the pony rides. She has come before. She did come last year. She backed out on us right at the last minute last year because she had two ponies that their hooves were broken or something, cracked, I don't know what. She comes from, is it Piedmont, I think, or somewhere in the Oklahoma City area. Piedmont, yeah, I think that's right. And so we've got her in the same way. We pay her a flat fee of $400, and then we've done it both ways. They've had times when we haven't paid her a flat fee and she's just charged $5 a ride. We've had it where we've paid her a fee and then we charge a fee, or we can let people ride free, let children. We are tentatively on the schedule for the Thunder truck again too, that comes, that display truck. And like I say, tentatively, they kind of won't promise us for sure yet, but we supposedly are on the calendar. That doesn't cost anything. It's just a scheduling thing. But that attracts a lot of people. And then entertainment, if you're talking about on the stage entertainment, we pay our MC, our master or mistress of ceremonies. We're on the schedule for Ridge Eubank again, and he's got us on his schedule, but he is still state FFA president and has to answer to them, to their scheduling. But we're hoping we get him again because he was such a success last year. We had him last year. We've put a little bit more money in there in case there's some entertainment we need to pay. We don't know for sure yet, to be real honest.
So your cash awards to artists, has that gone up any? Is it the same as it's usually been?
The cash awards to artists, no, it is the same, I believe, that it's always been. And that can go under that because we can, for example, that would be if we gave a first, second, and third in every category.
So
Let's
you
say.
have more participants.
Right, oil painting. You might have only one person here who has oils, so you might only do first prize. So that can vary. It won't vary more than that. but it could go under that. We pay Boss Music to come and do all of our sound every year. And I think they probably don't charge us what they do others, I would imagine. If I were guessing.
So this year you're asking for less? 2017, 15,300, and that's 14,250 this year?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
How much, the registration is $650, how much is it to?
They, they pay, the vendors pay $25 for a booth. If they want a double booth, they pay $40.
Okay, for like the crafts and.
Yes, the crafts and the artist, right. We don't charge any fee for people coming in, you know, to
Right.
see the
Yeah.
show. Yeah. That's just what we get from them.
How much they pay.
Student artists are free. We give them a booth if we have any student artists.
So do all art shows charge a fee to the artists?
For a booth, I think so. As far as I know, they do. And we're way low on that compared to a lot of others. Charge more than $25 for a booth. We think, you know, some of our people drive from Kansas and drive from Texas, and we just try to make it possible to pull people in. We're way out here isolated, and we have to have, we have to,
I'm not arguing, I was just curious.
yeah, we have to have people
I
come
thought maybe
from,
some of them didn't charge at all. but-
yeah. And I think we've gone around to see if our motels, or if we're doing that, will give us
We're going to
an event fee, you know,
find out
which,
what the fees are so that we can let them know.
Mhm.
So does this event have a website?
Facebook page?
Yes.
all that.
Yeah, there's a Facebook page.
Yes.
And we're doing a lot of social media posts, which we've, like last year, we got connected with a arts festival group. And so that has helped quite a bit.
Yes. We're on the tourism list, or the tourism list, I think that's what it's called, because I filled that out the other day for the state of Oklahoma, where all the events are listed. We're on that. And they do a lot of our advertising through the chamber. They help us great. I don't know what we would do without them. They help us greatly with that.
Have you seen a trend in the last 5 years of change in the number of people that you would estimate that, say, 5 years ago compared to last year, you know, the number of people that come as visitors or you know?
No, I think our crowd has been
Crowd
just as
straight,
good, yeah.
crowd
And
straight.
that's something we just guess at, I guess, because we don't have any way of registering people or,
You just be kind of a ballpark.
yes, I think it's stayed pretty much the same.
Then you mentioned Clinton, but there's a lot of events going on every weekend right now. And that
Yes.
weekend especially.
Yes.
There's also a ball tournament here that weekend at the ARC. And so we try to put the word out over there to come down. But, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on, so.
So the artists that are Graceful Arts that weekend that are exhibiting, they're normally at the show too then?
In some cases, yes, in some cases, no. They're not able to, depending on what is over there. The man that's going to be our judge this year is named Brian Davis, and he is going to come in on Friday, and he's going to be here that whole following week doing a workshop at the gallery, and that's one of the reasons we combined with them, so we're saving both of us some, you know, paying for lodging and travel and so forth. But Connie Moore arranged for him. She knows him. personally, and so when she told me that, I said, wonder if he'd like to come 2 days early and be our judge. So I called him and talked to him, and he seemed very pleased to do that. Was glad to do it. So he's going to be our judge. We've got some publicity coming out in the newspaper real soon about not only his workshop at the gallery, but it's also going to mention the fact that will be our judge for that day. Lynn Martin is very good at giving us some chance to put a picture in the paper and some things like that. Connie's working on that right now.
I move we approve the request for no more than $14,250 for
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
A second.
Terry. Norval.
Aye.
Charles.
Aye.
Anita.
Aye.
Thank you so much. We
Thank you.
appreciate it
And
greatly.
good luck.
Thank you.
Discussion and action on the Wings Over Prairie Air Race Classic not to exceed $15,005.
2 weeks later.
Hi, everybody. My name is April. I'm the marketing manager at Plain Plastics. I've worked there for 10 years. I want to thank you very much for talking to us. We're really excited. We are actually the first stop in the women's air race this year. We've got 55 planes and 110 pilots that are flying through. We are the first stop, which they don't have to land in any of the stops. The first stop they usually do, because the next stop goes on to Nebraska, and gas is going to get a little bit, so they usually stop and fill up here. We're really excited about it. We have been working with the race real closely, and Greg and the city and the airplane board and everybody's been really good. Kenzie Industry and Plain Plastics have been on the airport or in the aviation thing for Alva for 35 years. This is our 35th year. We're really excited, so we're all getting together and trying to do this. We were talking about having an air show anyway, and then when they were talking about bringing the women's air races through, we just figured we'd throw it all together. So we're planning on 4 days of that week. Tuesday will be the air races. Wednesday, we're going to actually have Young Eagles, which is a program of pilots who come in and try to teach the love of aviation to kids, and they give kids from 8 to 15 rides. You can go ahead, they can go online, get everything settled up, go out there, they take them around the planes, they show them how to do all the stuff there, and then they will give them rides. That will be happening on Wednesday. Really excited about that. We've had offers come from all over the state, Kansas, Arkansas, that they've heard about this and they're wanting to come help, the EAA programs, pilots associations and stuff. So we're like, come on. Then on Friday and Saturday, we're going to kick off the Wings Over the Prairie. And we went with that because we want this to be a whole thing. Winoka, Enid, Woodward, Moreland, all the small airports around here. We all kind of a close-knit family. Aviation is actually about this big. So we went with that. We've had help from all of those people. We are actually going to have camping on the airport. So the pilots will fly in, pop their tents, hang out. We're going to have movies under the stars. We're going to show aviation movies on one of the big hangars, popcorn, snow cones, and all that stuff. We're trying to do as much as we can with local people. We've got Lance Hartzman that's doing our banners. We've got the t-shirt place that's doing our t-shirts. We're trying to keep it local, every way possible. We will be giving, they have a award that the air race pilots actually vote on for the best stop on the thing, and we're trucking for that one. We're working really hard for that one. We are actually going to give away t-shirts, and this is actually the design of the t-shirt. The main thing that we're sticking with on the whole week is we're going to go with the heart that's made out of wheat, because it is kind of stinks. It is right in the middle of a harvest. My family farms and stuff, so I understand that. But when they said they were coming through, we wanted to try to make it one big deal. So we're gonna stick, everything's going to go with the Harvest Heart all the way across. They will give, all the women will get a t-shirt and a coin that will also have the same logo and have Alva in the first stop. So.
So the air show itself is a 2-day party.
It will be Friday and Saturday. We've got stunt pilots coming in. We've got we've got a bunch of the bigger distributors. We've got Rosen, we've got Sims, we've got Soundex. We've got a bunch of them. The Oklahoma Aeronautical Commission will be here. We're going to set up booths in our hangar that is just to the north of Plain Plastics. And then we're going to go with the aviation. We've talked about the Woods County having a booth, and everything else we're going to go ahead and fill out. We're going to have different things. We're going to have a kids zone. I've already talked to Ron Vasquez about bringing the dare car down, talking to the kids. We're going to try to get medevac. As long as they don't have another call, they'll be there. So with the kids zones, a lot of hands-on, one-on-one. I don't know if anybody watches Airplane Repo, but Kevin Lacey is actually the star of Airplane Repo, who's a good friend of ours. He will be here on Friday and Saturday. He is actually on the Discovery Channel, and he will be here. He's bringing 3 planes and a bunch of kids that are in they've gone from the young Eagles, they're between young Eagles and college age, and they're all working towards repairing planes, getting their pilot's license, getting their ground time, and they're going to talk to other kids and stuff like that. We're real big on trying to bring aviation up through the youth. So that's kind of where we sit.
So have you ever been to one of these type of programs in another area?
Yes, sir.
Where at?
I go to Sunfun. I will be leaving in April to go to Sunfun, which is a big show in Lakeland, Florida. We go every year. They run about 500,000 people through there in a 6-day period. We go to Oshkosh, Wisconsin in July, and that's almost a 1 million person show. That's almost a 7-day show. We are hopefully planning on going to Alaska this year in May, which is a 2-day show. They run about 25,000 people through there. We've already got about 60 planes that have already RSVP'd that they will be in here on those 2 days. A bunch of them are coming from Virginia. I've got some coming from Canada, got a couple coming from Utah. And we are the largest aftermarket manufacturer in the world. And we know a lot of people, we have a lot of friends, so we've had a lot of people that have RSVP'd and said that they would be here.
That's cool. So, and I think it's great. I mean, this committee loves to spend money on advertising, and you have a big advertising budget, which is awesome. The one that I had a question about was just, and I'm sure you can explain, was $6,000 for meals, and I was going,
Yes.
dang, I want to go eat there, I think.
You're more than welcome. You're more than welcome. We are actually doing, okay, and I guess I should have said that this year marks the 75th anniversary of the WASPs, which are the ladies that went and took care of the airplanes and all that stuff when the men went off to war. The Rivet Rosie is the big one that everybody remembers. This is their 75th year. So we're going to do a big RSVP for them, and the 99s, which is the ladies aviation group. They've all been invited from Oklahoma, Kansas, and Texas, all the ones around. We are going to do, and the food is actually strung out through the whole thing. I should have broke it down a little bit better, I'm sorry. We're going to do a meal on Tuesday. They will have a hot sit-down meal, or they will have grab-and-goes, whichever way the ladies want to do it. Because when they come across the line, they get on pause. So when they come across their timing line, they're on pause. So they can be here for 3 hours, or they can be here for 20 minutes, because they're not going to be docked. They're only judged when they're in the air. So we don't know. This one, you may want to have a hot meal, and you may want to just grab and go. It's kind of one of those things. Then on Friday, we are doing a town feed. So anybody that comes will be fed, and it's Plain Plastics and Kenzie's. And then Saturday morning, we are doing a breakfast, and that's going to be all the volunteers and the pilots that fly in. When they fly in, they'll get a pack. They'll have 2 tickets. Like they'll have a ticket for lunch and a ticket for the breakfast. So Saturday, we are going to have a big feed on Saturday afternoon for all the pilots and the VIPs and everything. We are also wanting to dedicate the new runway. So we're wanting all that, like the Aviation Aeronautics Commission's already going to be here, so they're wanting to take off and do all that on the same thing. So that's kind of where the food comes in. It's kind of a guesstimate. It's a pretty good guesstimate. We do a barbecue at our air shows every year, and it's about $2,000, $2,500 every time we do one. So.
So their next stop from Alva is where?
In Nebraska.
Nebraska.
Mhm.
And so this is an ongoing thing, then to hit Nebraska, is there 10 stops?
There's 8 stops.
Huh?
There's 8 stops,
8 stops?
and it's a 2,400-mile race in 2 days. Now, they can, if they have engine troubles or plane troubles, bad weather, there is a possibility that they could have to stay over. Probably not being the first stop, because Oklahoma's weather, if we have a storm, by the afternoon they're usually good to go. But there is always that chance. We've got all of the exhibits that are coming up will have to have a place to stay. We've got a bunch of VIPs that are coming up. We've got, some of the older 99s and stuff will probably not want to camp under the stars. They'll probably want a hotel. So we've contacted all that. We've sent all the information. I've been working 2 months now with the board for the air races. We've sent them all the restaurants' names and numbers. We've sent them all the hotel names and numbers. We've got everything. We've also talked to several people, the VOTEC. I'm going to go talk to the Minister Alliance. We're wanting to do a bus stop where they'll have a schedule, so that, if the guys are sitting there talking the planes and the women like to go shopping, we've discussed with the museums, we've, the arts, the square, they're gonna have maps, we're gonna give them this, and they'll have schedules where they can go see different things, because we want them to get as much of the town as they want to see, so.
So, same question as I asked the other people, is there a website for this event?
There is. We have a Facebook page. We're running a lot of it through Plain Plastics Facebook page. We have actually got an official Wings on the Prairie that is supposed to go ahead and launch on March 1st. So it is already started, and it already started building, but we haven't gone ahead and done it. So we're sending postcards out to all the registered pilots in the state of Oklahoma. So we'll get all that stuff sent out to them too. That'll invite them to both events.
So if you have a Facebook, or not a Facebook, but a website, it would be good to put the hotels on.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Pretty exciting.
I'm really pumped about it. I'm really excited about it.
We'll have lots of volunteer opportunities.
Oh, yes.
So
Yes,
if you're
yes.
wanting to volunteer, we will,
You'll even get a shirt.
yes, we're gonna
Yes.
have,
And we'll feed you.
but we know, we've been discussing the volunteer side. We're gonna need people to, once the
Greeters and-
greeters we need to greet people as they arrive. And then we'll also have a booth that will be ongoing, that people can come ask questions and find out more. And anyway,
And
even people roaming,
yeah.
so.
I could see this definitely being a reoccurring
We would,
event.
that's the goal,
Be excited
that's the
about.
goal. Maybe not every year, but maybe every 2 years, till we get our feet wet. And it's, it's great.
Is it an every year event?
Probably every 2 years, we'd probably do it. Oh, the race is an every year event, but they pick different places every year.
Right.
So we may not get another chance, ever, or we may get a chance in 3 or 4 years, depending on how we come through.
Did you
put in
a bid to get that?
We did not, they called us.
Oh,
Okay.
really?
They called us. everybody, all of my customers and stuff that I've talked to, that I've told them they're coming, the ones that have actually been there or worked it or whatever, they're just, well, I've got 4 guys that did it in Midland last year, were one of the stops. And they found out that they were coming, and they're all coming down to volunteer because they enjoyed it so much. So they'll be down here to work on that Tuesday.
So, if this is a successful event, and I expect it to be, and you come out with a positive balance out of the thing, where will that reside?
If we come out with a positive balance, then it will go for the next event. Or if it doesn't have another event, then it needs to be handed on to somebody else to help another event. We're not trying to make any money at all. We just want everybody to have a good time. We're not charging exhibits. We're gonna have food trucks to feed, to feed the people that aren't VIPs or pilots or whatever. Yeah,
I mean, we hope the event makes money because
Oh, yes.
it needs to make money to have another one.
I think it
I mean,
will.
or at least,
But it's not
get
one of
there,
those
but,
things that
yeah.
we're going in it to hoard a
So
bunch
I
of
was
money or
just
anything.
asking
Yeah.
what,
No, I
I mean,
understand.
if you had a group or what you had to carry this forward.
We have, at Plain Plastics, we have, air show fund, which is where it will go through. Hopefully that it's gonna be one of those things that, we can do every couple of years. It's a lot of work to do it every year right now. But every 2 years and make it bigger and bigger and bigger each time. So as we grow, then, the money will go towards that. But like I said, we're not trying to make a massive profit or anything like that. We're just trying to show everybody a good time and celebrate our anniversary.
Back to the meal thing, do they, and say, is the, first of all, the one in Nebraska,
Uh-huh.
is it in a town similar to the size, or is it in Omaha, or, I mean?
I do not know.
Don't know.
I don't know, I kind of know where they are on the thing. I can get that information for you. I probably got it right here. But I don't know what size the other towns are, I'm sorry.
I think it's a great idea. I move we approve the request for $15,000, not to exceed $15,000.
Second.
Kick
What?
off,
Juanita?
whatever it is,
Aye.
wings over the plains, throw over the
Over
prairie.
prairie, yeah.
Juanita?
Aye.
Norval?
All right.
Charles?
Aye.
Terry?
Aye.
Thank you very much, you guys. I hope everybody comes.
Definitely.
We might
Put it in my
work.
calendar.
Put your work, get you a shirt. It's nice to meet you all.
Volunteers
Nice to meet
too.
you.
I was gonna say.
Thanks for all your hard
I'll
work.
be reaching out.
Thank you.
Looking forward to that. That's fun.
All right. Next item is remarks and inquiries by the Tourism Tax Committee. Charles, want to give us a quick update on Arena? Anything?
We have interviewed the prospective project managers and have not chosen them. They're so close. You can take any of them, be fine. So that's where we're at. Should happen, I would hope, by the end of this week.
So by the next meeting, we'll have some better information. Some more exciting.
Pardon me?
So by the next meeting, we'll have some more exciting information.
Hopefully we'll have what we call it, ribbon cut, or,
Groundbreaking.
Oh,
what
wow.
we call it when you
That's so awesome.
go out and break ground, or.
Groundbreaking.
Groundbreaking, yeah.
Cool.
Hopefully that happens in this next month.
That'd be nice.
That's exciting. All right. Anybody have anything else?
I don't.
Well, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Charles?
Aye.
Norval?
Aye.
Juanita?
Aye.
Terry?